All right, good morning, everyone. Look, it's so festive this morning. Welcome to Rancho Church's Ugly Sweater Sunday. Scott, I love that you're representing.
Oh, it was today?
This is custom made. I actually lost my ugly sweater from last year, so we had to throw this together this morning.
It looks like you threw it together this morning.
This one better.
Oh, is that right?
I do.
And Sharon, your sweater is special.
It is special. It says, "Oh snap!" But if you notice, there's a broken leg. Get it?
Yeah, well, she had two broken legs, if you don't remember.
Both of hers.
Yeah.
Yes.
She actually saw this sweater, and she was like, "I got to break my leg so I can wear that sweater on Christmas." And it'd be so.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it was
yeah.
so much fun.
Dedication.
All right. At some point, we got to start church this morning. But for those of you who are in the room, we always like to give you a little preview, a little roadmap of what's to come. Lots of guests and visitors this time of year, and so Scott, we're gonna do week two.
Week two of the series called He Is Our Peace.
Yeah.
Jesus is our peace, which was promised at his birth. Peace on earth. So we're going to talk about that, inner peace, and then kind of living out peace, living peacefully. We'll talk about that today, and hope you enjoy it.
Yep, and then we do this thing called Wagar, What's Going On at Rancho. Today, it's just pretty much all about fun. I got some friends that are going to come on, and we're going to have a little game that you can play along to, whether you're here in the room or you're online.
Absolutely. And we're kicking everything off with Rattle. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just like a rock out kind of song.
It is kind of a rock out song, but it's got this little vibe that, hey, something really cool is about to happen, right? And I think we need that message as well. So shall we get to it?
Let's do it.
All right,
All
everybody
right.
stand. Let's get going.
Come on, let's worship together. Come on. We're gonna sing this together. Saturday was silent.
Saturday was silent. Surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Friday's disappointment, Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Come on, say it. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. You open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime. Come on, say it. Resurrection power runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle.
second week in December, which means this week is 2 Christmas songs. 2 Christmas songs. I can't even believe it. So the first one is Angels We Have Heard on High, and then we're going to go straight into a song called He Shall Reign. I've always remembered the title. Always. I've called it the wrong name like all morning. So He Shall Reign, and this is just one of those songs that is where the world waits in eager expectation for the light of the world to come into this darkness and show us the way to that peace, that mercy, and that grace. So when we get to that one, let's just have that in our minds of this peace that has been brought to us, this light that has been brought to us in such a dark time, and now we have that forevermore. Right now, let's sing this out. Angels We Have Heard on High. I know you know the words. Everyone has to know the words. So let's sing this out together. Come on. Hands together.
Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joy is strange prolonged? Would the gladsome tidings be which inspire your heavenly song? To Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee, Christ the Lord, the newborn King. This one just drums and bass. In excelsis Deo. Come on, Ocean. Everybody, let's go. In excelsis Deo. As we talked about in this moment, imagining that world of darkness, seeing that the light of the world has come, in eager expectation of this one small child who's the greatest gift that's ever been given. In the weeping winter, all creation groans for a world in darkness, frozen like a soul. Light is breaking in a stable for a throne. shepherd. I would do my part, but poor as I am, I will give to him my heart, and he shall reign forevermore, forevermore, and he shall reign forevermore, forevermore. Unto us a child is born, the King of kings and Lord of lords, and he shall reign forevermore, forevermore. We'll hear within a manger lies the one who made the starry skies. This baby born for sacrifice, Christ the Messiah. Into our hopes, into our fears, the Savior of the world appears, the promise of eternal years, in Christ the Messiah. Listen, and he shall reign forevermore, forevermore, and he shall reign forevermore, forevermore. Come on, and he shall reign forevermore, forevermore, and he shall reign forevermore, forevermore. Unto us a child is born, the King of kings and Lord of lords, and he shall reign forevermore, forevermore. Well, he shall Amen. Thank you guys so much for that time of worship. You guys may be seated.
Don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need, and I don't care about the
All right. Hey, how are we liking those Christmas songs? You guys like those? Yeah, they only come once a year, so you got to enjoy them while they last. And I don't know if you noticed, but on bass this morning, OCL from Rancho en Espanol. Let's give it up for OCL.
Nice.
Love that guy. Mr. Beaver, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as well, Monsieur McLean.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
I'm
How
calling
are you?
I'm great. I am really good. I love Christmas season. And Mr. Beaver, you're known for being Mr. Beaver because you are a theology teacher.
Oh, yes. I'm a very deep theologian. I've been told that, like, since a young child. You're very deep
Okay.
and theological and stuff.
Nice. And
yeah.
And
so
you're
you do call me Mr. Beaver or the Honorable Professor
Ooh, I like that.
Beaver.
Yes, with a bunch of
Yeah.
letters at the end.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
yes,
Okay. Well,
something
you're
on
also
scale.
a. Let's see. You are a fantasy football connoisseur.
I do love fantasy football, although my team this year is very, as the kids would say, mid.
Mid.
Low
Yeah.
key. It's low key mid.
Mine is low key low
Yes.
mid.
Yeah.
Below low mid. You're also our youth pastor though.
Yes,
High
I
school
am.
youth pastor.
I'm the high school youth pastor, and if you are a high schooler or you have a high schooler or you know, if you've ever met a high schooler or spelled the word high or school, please talk with me. I'd love to get you plugged in, connected with our high school group. We do meet on Sundays right after this service. We usually hang out on the picnic tables and then head into a classroom where we do like a very in-depth Bible study, like super deep. Again, theologian. And then on Tuesdays, we have a meeting where we meet at a house. We feed you. It's a great time. If you want information on either one of those things, please find me out there or email me or anything like that.
All right,
Yeah.
and we got another Beaver here. His name is
Jackson.
The Honorable Jackson.
the Honorable, and we got another McLean here, and her name is
Maggie.
All right, and they are here because we're going to have some fun on Wagar in just a minute.
Yes.
But real quick before we get started, what is your Christmas wish from Santa Claus this year?
A puppy.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Don't you dare with that one. All right. Santa's
Jackson, what about you?
I don't know.
quality time with your dad.
No.
Good answer. All right, we're moving on. Okay, let's get to business. If you are new this morning or if you've been visiting for a while or new online, we just want to say welcome. We're so glad that you are here. We want to connect with you. We want to make it easy for you to connect with us at Rancho. And so the easiest way to do that is send us a text with the word new to our number 951-379-3795. When you send that text, we're going to text you right back. It's an easy way to just kind of connect. And if you're here with us this morning, take that text out to our Welcome Center. And we've got a Live Free, Do Good tumbler just as a way of saying thank you for visiting Rancho.
Yeah, and if you just have general questions that you need answered and you're more of an email person, info@rancho.tv is the way to get all those questions answered. So don't hesitate. Send that out. We're really good at getting back to you as quick as possible. So that's your key.
And then we always like to say thank you to our generosity partners, especially this time of year when people have been so generous. We've done a ton of stuff. Two of the things actually that you may not be aware of is we have two ministries here on campus. One is called Thrive. It's for our special needs families and for special needs families in our community. We also have another ministry called Replanted, which is for foster care families. And we reach out to several families in the foster care community in our community. Both of those ministries are having Christmas parties today, celebrating an amazing year of ministry together, all thanks to your generosity as we partner together to advance the cause of Christ. So thank you for that. If you'd like to learn more about becoming a generosity partner at Rancho, you go to rancho.tv/giving, where all the information is available. And then if you brought anything to give today, we have black boxes in the back that you can give on your way out. Now for the good stuff, the reason that Jackson and Maggie are up here with us, other than to make us look a little younger and cooler. Ryan, every year I like to bring out a game.
Yes.
And when I bring out a game, I like to bring you out because you are the maestro of games.
I do love games. I like to play them. I like to make them up. And we thought Christmas Carol.
Christmas
name that
Carol
tune, right?
game.
That's
Name that
a fun
tune?
game. Name that tune. But excuse me. What's way more funner is if you take the Christmas carols and turn them backward into like La Roque. Some jerks. That's
Ooh,
Christmas
I
Carol.
like that.
Anyway, we're going to play them backwards.
We're going to play them backwards.
They're going to guess them, and
All
this
right.
time you're going to get at least one of them correct, Jackson.
And you can play along, yell it
Yes,
out if you
please
know it. If you're
blurt
online, play
away.
along. We have a sample song, so let's see who knows this song.
Just
Let's try
blurt
it.
out the answer if you know it.
You can't. Oh, yeah. I have no idea what this one is.
Totally know this. I just don't want to spoil it for them. And all I want for Christmas, I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe tech
I
team
don't,
pulled a fast one on
we
us.
gotta, now we're going to
Let's flip it
flip
back.
it and reverse it. Go the other way. Still don't know. I'm really good at this game.
Santa,
Oh
tell
my
me. She got it.
goodness.
Good job.
Of course it was you,
Okay,
buddy.
Jackson and Maggie, are you guys ready?
Okay, hold
Because-
on. I'll be the mic stand.
Okay, you be the mic stand. Here we go. Let's play song number 1. You know, the world is a big place, and it's filled with so much Hey!
Oh,
Maggie
come
got it.
on. You guessed that
All
every
right.
round last time.
Let's hear that one in regular tune. In regular. There it is. Recognize it now? Okay. Song number 2.
The score's 4-0 total.
Okay. Song number 2. Come on, you got this one.
You guys know how to play the game, right?
You know, when you go up to the mountains and there's this white stuff, and then
White Christmas.
well, and then you roll it into big giant.
Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, that's a tie.
No. It goes to the taller one.
Okay.
Tie goes to the
All
taller.
right, okay.
We're
All
tied.
right. Yep, that's it. Okay, song number 3. Let's get ready with song number 3, and this is the tiebreaker.
This is your chance to earn my love.
Jingle bells.
Nope.
Keep going.
Mistletoe.
Maggie got it. That was Mistletoe by
That's not
Justin
even a
Bieber.
song.
It is. It's a total song.
Yeah. You make the tiebreaker, Justin Bieber. I protest.
I was trying to, bring it down to the youth level.
I'm actually proud of my son for not getting that one.
Very nice. Well, hey, thanks for playing along. We hope you enjoy your Christmas season here at Rancho. Let's wrap this up. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
And
That's what's going on at Rancho.
Thanks,
Thank
Ryan.
you.
Let's welcome up Scott.
Well, that was a lot of fun, Alex. Thank you. You do such a great job with the games and the Name That Tune and the fun stuff. And Ugly Christmas thing
I love
is
what you
your-
did there. It
Well-
looks like you did it maybe like 10 minutes before service this morning.
You speak truth. So I think I threw away the Christmas sweater from last year, and I got punished for that because I shouldn't have done that. And so we just tossed this together this morning. So it was a team effort, but it was absolutely last minute.
Very nice. Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah,
Very nicely
absolutely.
done. Let's talk Christmas Eve real quick.
It's coming up in 2 Sundays. So as crazy as that is, in 2 Sundays is Christmas Eve. And so we're not doing Sunday morning service that Sunday, but we're doing afternoon services at 2, 3, 4, and 5 o'clock. So we encourage you to come. If you want to serve at one, that's great. And we also want to encourage you to invite. I've already started inviting. You got to come here on Christmas Eve. It is a 51-minute service, so it's not forever. We like to think our services here are not weird.
Yeah.
However, as I say that,
Look at us.
yeah. But you know what I mean by weird, like religious language and weird, kind of like judges and condemnations and just things like that. A lot of people have had a bad experience at church. We trust and have heard a lot that people coming here. Kind of a refreshing, kind of new start.
Yeah, totally. And then also, I don't know if you follow us online, but we put out a Christmas Eve commercial, actually a whole Christmas season commercial.
Very good.
If you've seen it, that's great. If you haven't, go check us out. If you've seen it and you're kind of one of those social media people, real easy way to invite someone is just DM them or tag somebody and just say, hey, this is what our church is like for Christmas Eve. Love to see you there.
Yep, and it's great. You and the team do a great job with all the stuff, all the look and feel, commercials, ugly sweaters, trivia, the whole
Everything.
thing.
It's all
Thank you,
fun.
dude. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man.
Thanks, Alex. All right, round of applause for Alex and his team and tech and everybody who makes all this happen. I am walking and motioning a little more gingerly up here because I've got batteries and prickly things all over the place. So I got a little hug from somebody who got injured and is now in the hospital. Not quite, but it's dangerous up here, so I'm going to be a little tender. We are in a 3-week Christmas series called He Is Our Peace. He is our peace. And of course, the He is who? Jesus. All right, always the answer in church. Jesus is our peace. He is our peace. And of course, this comes from the announcement at his birth. At his birth, this announcement comes from the heaven. Glory to God in the highest, peace on earth and goodwill to all humankind. The coming of Jesus is about peace. Peace on earth and goodwill. So the birth of Jesus happened in a very dark time, a time of great violence, a time of great oppression, and a time where there was not goodwill being shared among humankind. And so the birth of Jesus was really an entire foreshadow of what God was going to do century after century, including today and beyond, to increase peace on earth, increase goodwill toward all humankind, and increase peace even in our own lives. But, what is peace? Peace is one of those sort of subjective words. If I asked you what kind of peace do you want to experience, you might have an answer that's very unique to you. If I asked the person next to you what kind of peace do you want to experience, you might have an entirely different answer. And so peace is not really this universally understood thing where we all share the same definition of peace. And so, as with most things, the concept of peace has been overanalyzed and overstudied and categorized into different kinds of peace. One kind of peace is called negative peace, which I don't quite understand. It's like saying negative positivity. They're totally opposites. So the concept of negative peace means that your hope is in things not happening. That's negative peace. Everything that is negative out there being removed. So chaos being removed, violence being removed, negative things out there being removed, that could be your definition of peace. I want conflict to stop in my family. I want conflict to stop in the world. That's a vision of negative peace. Things not happening will bring me peace. Make some sense? Kind of a weird definition. There's a different kind of peace that is more in our control, because the reality of negative peace is we are not in control of what other people do. We're not in control of the violence in the world. We're not in control of chaos that kind of happens. So if our hope is in things not happening, we're going to be perpetually in turmoil because we can't control that. There's a different kind of peace. It's not negative peace. It's what? Positive peace. Very creative. Positive peace, and that's within. That's in our control. It basically says this: whatever is happening in the world around us, whether it's good or bad, right or wrong, peaceful or violent, I am going to walk a journey of having this positive peace really spring from within me. And I'm in control of that. I'm in control of that. Some of the most inspiring stories that have ever been written, and some of these stories are being written even right now in places that are in terrible conflict, is when people can manage to experience peace even when the world around them is in chaos. Sometimes literal war zones, right? Where atrocities are happening around them and people desperately essentially make this commitment to the heavens. This will not destroy my peace. This will not destroy me. So we're going to walk an intentional journey of trying to find a sense of calm, even in chaos. We're going to try to find a sense of peace, even in violence. We're going to try to find a sense of calm and warmth and life, no matter what happens around me. That's positive peace. And that's the kind of peace I'd like us to explore as we approach Christmas Eve and beyond. Positive peace includes the attitudes that create and sustain a peaceful feeling in any circumstance. Now, to be clear, wanting negative peace, meaning the bad things to stop, is not bad. That's actually a good thing. It's a noble thing to want chaos out there to stop and wars out there to stop and oppression out there to stop. That's completely fine. Want that, pray for that, advocate for that. But a lot of that's out of our control. What is in our control is this inner peace that determines I will feel the calmness of the presence and the love of God. I will feel a calmness that comes from people around me who I love and who love me. We're going to find that sense of positive peace. That's why last week we started this series by focusing on inner peace. And that inner peace can have as its very foundation the idea that Jesus reveals who God is and connects us with God. So peace can come on a foundation of Christ himself. So these are the things we talked about last week, that through Jesus, there's a genuine knowledge of God. Jesus says, you've seen me, you've seen the Father. He is the fullness of God, divinity in human flesh. So through Jesus, we have a knowledge of God that can bring us inner peace. Through Jesus, there's a genuine union with God, unbroken and unbreakable union with God, purely by his grace, given to us freely, given to us before the beginning of time. We just need to know that and believe that. And how can we know that and believe that? Through Jesus. There's a genuine union with God. And even deeper than that, through Jesus, there's a genuine relationship with God. A relationship with God where we can talk to him through prayer and he sort of speaks to us in a very sort of mystical and even very unique way to each one of us, either through his spirit, through his word, through nature. Each of us can connect with God in a very real way that's unique to us. So this can bring us inner peace. So as we seek positive peace, as we seek inner peace based on who Jesus is to us, what begins to happen? We can then live peacefully. So living peacefully is the focus of today. If we walk a lifelong journey based on the foundation of the love of God through Jesus, to really experience inner peace and positive peace, we begin to live a more peaceful life in the world around us. There's a few ways to do that I want to talk about today. One, and we'll spend the bulk of our time on this first one, always put people first. If you want to live a more peaceful life, always put people first. Now, people first is kind of a cliche if you work in retail, for example. You know, put the customer first, the customer's always right. It becomes kind of a cliche deal. But I'm talking about like a genuine soul-level conviction that I'm going to look at every single human being on earth and treat every single human being on earth as though they are a dearly loved, handcrafted, beautiful person made in the very image of God. And that is a very unique way to live. Oftentimes, we can treat people who are close to us like that. Our family members, our friends, we treat them with dignity, we treat them with respect, there's empathy there, there's care. If they struggle, we can come alongside. But then from there, it kind of falls off really quick. The further arm's length somebody gets or beyond, the less we humanize them. It's just normal. It's just natural human relationships. But if we can follow Jesus towards the goal of humanizing everyone, treating everyone as dearly loved and made in the image of God, a peace will be lived out, a peace that this world desperately needs. But there's whole areas of societal life that intentionally dehumanize people. So this is very, very difficult. 4 areas real quick. And we've talked about these in previous weeks. The realm of politics intentionally dehumanizes people. You're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're not a human being, you're a vote. And so you're treated like a vote with political ads and political parties and even political debates. Are those humanizing political debates? No, you're the enemy, I'm right, you're wrong. It's just this dehumanizing thing. Now, politics is necessary, I guess, to keep civilizations civil, but it is really a dehumanizing sport, right? And so we gotta fight through politics. And some of us may have deep political convictions. There's nothing wrong with that, but that doesn't mean we have to dehumanize people who don't agree with us. They're just people who don't agree with us, right? And we can actually treat people who disagree with us politically as dearly loved, made in the image of God. It is actually possible. The other area of life, as we've talked about here quite a bit, that intentionally dehumanizes people is religion. Religion is about, hey, we believe the right things, you don't. We're believers, you're unbelievers. We worship the right way, you don't. This doctrinal thing we have nailed and you don't. We worship the right Jesus and you don't. I mean, it's dehumanizing. We can't have kind of civil disagreements about matters of faith. It's no, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm saved, you're not. I'm going to heaven, you're going to hell. It gets crazy out there. Crazy. And it's all dehumanizing, right? So we got to fight these giant, what I would call forces within civilizations that dehumanize each other, politics, religion, and it could be as simple as being inconvenienced. As you're driving in traffic, we dehumanize everybody around us. They're traffic. They're in our way. I told you in my epiphany a couple years ago, it's like, I'm traffic. That's not right. That's not right. That doesn't feel good. It took me 51 years to recognize as I'm, shaking my fist at the traffic. It's like, I'm the traffic, dummy. And so now, I just sit in traffic and go. We've talked about that before. It's just one little example of how we can intentionally humanize people that we consider to be inconveniences. In the store, I had to practice this 2 days ago. I'm in the store, and you know this, you get through the express line. I had 4 things. I'm getting in the express line, and this lady was in front of me who had legitimately exactly 15, actually I counted 17 things. Close enough, close enough. But the pace at which she took out her card, the inability to do a card transaction on that keypad, the 16 questions she asked the cashier about her personal life. I mean, I felt this thing, I gotta go. I have to go. And then I realized, Treadway, in 2 days you're gonna preach a sermon about humanizing. Work on this, work on this. This is a human being, dearly made in the image of God, I guess, right? Probably needs a conversation with a cashier and just enjoy the moment, right? Absolutely enjoy the moment. It's very difficult for us to humanize people who have offended us. This is a big deal. So if there's a family member who might have offended you, or worse yet, might have even hurt you with their words, if you've been offended or hurt in some way, the human brain has a self-defense mechanism that puts a wall between you and that person to protect you. So part of that is totally understandable, and sometimes we need that wall, and sometimes we need that protection. If somebody is intentionally trying to harm you and continually harming you, and may want to harm people you loved, sometimes that protection is needed and boundaries are appropriate. But sometimes the brain just categorizes them as a threat, even if it might have been an offense that you could forgive. And maybe it's an offense that has caused this wall to be built, but really there's a restoration journey ahead if we would humanize that person. And to sort of have the same epiphany that I had, that I'm the traffic, well, I've offended people too. And I might not have been intentional, so maybe I can believe the best about this person, and maybe I can walk a road of forgiveness. And maybe I could say, hey, it's been a while, can we chat? Can we humanize people even who might have offended us? And again, I want to say if somebody's out to harm you, protect yourself for sure. I'm not saying that. But are there people around us, even in our own family, that these walls have just been built and we've dehumanized that person? They're just the offender, and I'm the offended, and that's just the way it is. Humanize them. Maybe there's a story there. Maybe they're angry. Maybe they've been hurt by somebody and they're just acting out, right? All this stuff. So what does it look like to actually humanize people that are so easy to dehumanize in political realms and religious realms, and just the inconvenience of people getting in our way day to day, or people who have offended us? Well, let's look to the example of Jesus. Jesus is a master of humanizing people. And you could argue theologically, well, yeah, he's the creator God Almighty who actually made everybody in his image. So yeah, of course he's cheating. He can then humanize people that have been dehumanized. But let's look at the examples, specific examples of how Jesus went to people who had been dehumanized, humanized them, treated them the way they deserve to be treated, dearly loved, made in the image of God. We'll go quick. Women caught in adultery, John chapter 8. the religious mob was going after her, right? And religious mobs are everywhere. Religious mobs exist to this very day. Christianity is at the top of the list of where religious mobs live. I don't know what's going on with my mic. We'll just pretend it's my fault, although it's probably not. But religious mobs are out there everywhere looking for people to dehumanize. So here is this woman caught in adultery, immediately judged and condemned by the religious mob who are trying to put her to death in John chapter 8. And Jesus has nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with it. In fact, he steps in, really at his own risk, kneels down with her, says you're forgiven. You just need to know you're forgiven. Tells everybody else, if you're without sin, cast the first stone. So just makes the playing field level. Lifts her up, loves her, and says, now let's live a better life. You're ruining your life, right? We could do better. All in the context of love. He humanized her in the face of a religious mob who dehumanized her. Then there's the blind beggar in Luke chapter 18. 2,000 years ago, if you had a physical disability, you were considered to be cursed by God. No joke. There's some people who still believe that. Well, your life is going wrong because you did something wrong, right? So God's going to get you. That's the way it was back there. So here's a blind beggar, and he's out there just trying to, eat every day off of the crumbs of people around him, totally dehumanized. Jesus kneels down, has a conversation with him, treats him like a human being, dearly loved, made in the image of God, and cares for him and brings him healing. The Samaritan woman at the well, John chapter 4. Here's this woman in public. Men were not supposed to speak to women in public. It was forbidden, dehumanizing. She was Samaritan. She had the wrong blood flowing through her veins, so they thought. Ends up, DNA says, no difference in her ethnicity. But because she was labeled as a race that was looked down upon, she was marginalized and dehumanized. Not only that, she had some moral problems, right? A little bit of a flusy, right? And so she was judged as someone who just was not dialed in the way the religious expectations wanted her to be. And so he treats her as a human being, has a conversation with her, talks to her, knows her, forgives her, lets her know, hey, you are forgiven. And let's move forward in a better way. Humanizes her. How about the thief on the cross? Luke chapter 23. Thief on the cross. No one cared about people being crucified. No one cared about him. They were utterly dehumanized, being murdered in the most horrifically torturous way. And so here is Jesus, who himself was being crucified, loved this person next to him and wanted this person next to him in his final hours, in his final days, in his final breath, to know, hey, you are loved and you are forgiven. Himself dealing with the guilt of his own failure. I think I'm going to need that mic. Thanks. Dealing with his own failures, dealing with the fact that he was under condemnation and being crucified, also dealing with the fear that when he breathes his last breath, he may be facing the judgment and the wrath and the condemnation of God. All this you can imagine swirling around the head of the one being crucified next to Jesus. And Jesus has the selflessness and wherewithal to give him comfort. Today, you're going to be with me in paradise. Today, even as you're being crucified, I want to give you just a little bit of peace. A little bit of peace that you are in the hands of God and you're going to be fine. Jesus saw a human being. And then how about the Roman soldiers, the ones who were actually murdering Jesus? Jesus loved them and humanized them. I don't know if I would humanize my murderer. But that's exactly what Jesus was doing. And he said out loud with his mouth so they could hear, Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. He even humanized the ones who were murdering him so that they would have a little bit of peace, that while they were perpetrating what could be argued the greatest injustice in human history, murdering the Son of God, Jesus wanted them to know they are loved and they are forgiven. Dearly loved, made in the image of God, Jesus humanized everyone. The thief on the cross, his own murderers, and everyone who had been marginalized by the religious mobs and the political mobs, he humanized every single one. And I'm telling you, we have got to guard dehumanizing people. Politically, religiously, we have to guard dehumanizing people by judging them, labeling them, condemning them. We've got to guard our tendencies, and we all have them, to have biases. When it comes to religious biases, moral biases, racial biases, we all have them. We've got to fight human nature to strive to live the life that Jesus lived, which is to intentionally put in the work to treat everybody as dearly loved and made in the image of God. And I thank God for this church because we are trying to do that. We're trying to get past the sort of tribalism and camps and we're right and they're wrong and we're blessed and they're condemned and we've got the answers and they don't. Try to push through all of that and humanize everyone. That's the journey we're on. On a very personal level, this Christmas, we can do the same beginning in our own household. If you're going to come across somebody in your family who might have offended you or you don't get along with and you just kind of, well, I just don't really want to talk to that person, or, you know, they offended me and I think we're kind of done here. Really kind of think through, how can I humanize that person, empathize with that person, and maybe try to build a bridge. Don't see your kids by their struggles. Sometimes with parenting, we see the struggles that kids have, and they might have some behavior issues or academic issues, and they might not do their chores around the house, and things just kind of get negative at times. We got to battle that, not look at our kids by their struggles or shortcomings, but humanize everyone in our house. Humanize the person who has even sort of made mistakes or offended you. Humanize people in, you know, our neighborhoods and on our roads and in the stores who might be getting in our way. Don't see people as inconveniences and don't see people as annoyances. All that is dehumanizing. Sound easy, huh? It's pretty difficult. There's a very famous story that just has to be told here in Luke chapter 10. It's the story of Mary and Martha. And this is exactly what was going on here. A house full of people. And you're going to have a house full of people. You're going to go to a house full of people. And there's going to be a lot going on. A lot of life, a lot of noise, a lot of people, a lot of activities maybe. And so here's Martha. And she decided to be the host of this big party. And the guest of honor was Jesus, the very Son of God. And so, you know, no pressure, Martha. But she wanted everything to be perfect. And she was working real hard. And you can sympathize with that. So, some of you who have, had guests over, and you might be wired to say, I want this to be dialed in. I want that meal to be dialed in. I want this place to be clean, right? So all the details are getting worked on. Martha's working on all the details, and the house is just full of people. And then Martha's sister, Mary, is slacking. And some of you are like, oh yeah, just like, and then you got a list. So here's what went down. This is Luke chapter 10. Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and narked on Mary, her sister. No doubt she's been doing this her whole life. Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you, right, that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Could you tell her to come and help me? Totally narking to God incarnate. So trying to bust her sister for slacking. Here's what the Lord said to her. My dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There's only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it and will not be taken away from her. He didn't light up Martha, but he was graciously saying, hey, listen, Mary is experiencing something here that will not be taken away from her. And what Mary was experiencing was the humanity of that gathering. Martha was all about the lists. That meal's got to be dialed in. The house has got to be cleaned. We want everybody taken care of. She was worried about the details. Mary was worried about the people. The people. Humanize everyone. And let me just kind of put this on the table. You can decide to do with this what you will. But if you have more details in your holiday life that will box out your ability to connect with human beings, then downgrade the details. I'll give you a little example. Years ago, we totally ditched the idea of cooking Christmas Eve dinner because it was a lot, right? It was a lot. Not for me, but it was a lot. We got Christmas Eve services, we got a ton of them, and it's busy and we're tired, and the last thing we need to do is make a Christmas Eve dinner. So we just go pick up Chinese food, right? Just have a simple Chinese, we just got rid of a lot of details so that we can more enjoy being here with you all, this family of faith, and then when we get home, we can just enjoy each other and not have to worry about more details and details. So maybe simplify your life, even if it means downgrading a lot of activity that might even be part of your tradition, so we can spend more time with people. And I'll throw this out there, and please do not use this as a weapon. I trust you. Sometimes people who want everything to be perfect want to be seen as the one who is perfect, right? It's not really all about making other people feel as though they're warmly welcomed, but sometimes it's about the person wanting to project that they did it all and they did it right. Just think about that, simmer on that. Do not use that as a weapon, you promised, right? But it's okay to simplify. It's okay to maybe downsize the details. There's something also here that I think has got to be really highlighted. Jesus said, "My dear Martha, you are worried and upset over the details." So, humanize people, but keep the little deals the little deals. Keep the little deals the little deals. What was Jesus saying to Martha? You're making big deals out of little deals. Mary's humanizing people, and she's loving hanging around each other, but Martha, you're just making big things out of little things. And we could tend to do that, especially during the holidays. And our brains are wired to make big deals out of little deals. I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. She wants to go to a restaurant that I don't really like. Big deal or little deal? Little deal, good job. It gets harder as we go. Little deal, little deal. But the brain doesn't say it's a little deal. Keep in mind, the brain is wired to see threats, right? And so if she wants to go to a restaurant she knows I don't really like, our brain says this, well, her not wanting to go to a restaurant I don't really like means she isn't interested in what I like, which means she really may not care what I like, which means she really doesn't care for me at all, and we've got a big problem and a big fight. Little deals becoming big deals. We all do it because the brain makes connections that probably aren't even there. Keep little deals the little deals. She doesn't want to go to a restaurant, or she wants to go to a restaurant I don't really like. I'll get her back. There may be something better than that, but keep little deals to little deals. All right. He keeps throwing his nasty socks on the closet floor every single day. Big deal or little deal? All the guys say, that's a little deal. Women said nothing. Big deal or little deal? Okay, in the grand scheme of things, it is a little deal. I did this. I put my socks on the ground, and little deal, right? I'll get to it. At some point, I'll get to it and put them in the dirty clothes. I'll get to it. It is kind of a little deal, but the brain doesn't think so. And so here's kind of how that goes. Well, he knows I don't like that, which means he may not really care what I like. He may not care what I care about. Therefore, he does not care about me as a human being, and we got to fight, right? So we did this for a while. I left my stuff in our bedroom and in our closet because it's our bedroom and our closet. We don't give home tours in our bedroom and our closet, so who really cares if stuff's... That's my thinking, right? Some of you are totally offended and will never come to this church again. It's like, why not keep the place clean, and why not put things where they belong, right? So my wife, this is part of our story, it's like a big part of our story, even though it seems small, stopped harassing me about it and just started helping me put things in the dirty clothes. And then I realized after some time, my wife is putting some pretty nasty things away from me, and she should not have to do that. It took me 20 years to realize what was going on, but we finally started squaring some things away. So it takes a while, be patient, but over time, if we let the little things be the little things, the relationship can still thrive. Now, I'm not saying to ignore the little things at all. But as we address the little things, address them as little things and not addressing them as big things, and then, we can live a more peaceful life. All right, totally pulling this out of the blue. This would never happen in my actual household. But maybe you have kids that don't turn off lights. Maybe it's just hypothetical, like I said, because that's really hard. And these lights are on. Now, day after day after day, big deal or little deal? Okay, thank you. So one person. Objectively, it's a little deal. Now, again, I told you there's getting harder and harder as we go because there's a lot behind it. Well, is it a respect issue? We're burning money. It's like real money, and we care about the environment, burning energy. There's just a lot of things you could layer on top of that. But really, at its core, we don't really think our kids are like, I'm going to show my parents today. I'm going to get them today. I'm not going to show up. It doesn't go through their head. It's just you do your thing and you walk out, and kids got a lot in their brains. They're heading to school, which is all kinds of complicated things and lots to navigate socially, and here we're concerned about turning off a light, right? So again, we're humanizing and then keeping the little deals to little deals. Now, does that mean we never, ever address the little things like chores and light bulbs? No, we address them, but we address them as little deals, and we don't assume it's the greatest disrespect that any parent has ever, experienced in their life. This one's going to just create craziness. You're the second car at a red light. The red light turns green, and that person doesn't go. That's a big deal. I said, come on, you're such an idiot. I get more unreasonably furious at that than I think anything else in life. It's like, I had to get over that because 2 years ago, I was that jabroni who did that. I got distracted by something and a honk, and I'm like, okay, well, on my bucket list was to never fail to do an immediate acceleration on a green light and I failed that 2 years ago. 2 years, 1 month, 3 days ago. So to have the humility to say, okay, listen, I don't turn off all light bulbs. I'm not, paying attention 100% of the time. I'm not showing maximum respect to everybody always. So to have the humility to say, I'm a flawed person. There are flawed people around me. There's flawed people in my home. I can maybe let the little deals be the little deals because, and this is just a little thought experiment, if we amped up every little deal, and if people amped up every little deal towards me, there'd be out and out war and not a single relationship would survive. So if we keep little deals the little deals, still addressing them as little deals, we'll be a lot better off, a lot better off. So always see people first, let the little deals be the little deals, and finally, and this will go quick, see the positive. See the positive. This one's more difficult than we might imagine because nobody thinks they're negative. Not a single person has said to me, I'm kind of a downer, right? I just see the worst in everything. Nobody thinks that about themselves. Everybody thinks they're the most positive, cheerful person on earth, but you're not. We all kind of tend to see the negative, and there are some people who are just flat out grumpy, absolute grumpy, and see the negative and always criticizing everybody. That person believes they're the most positive person on the face of the earth. So that's the challenge here is, well, how will we know if we're negative? Because no negative person thinks they're negative. So it's difficult. This is very, very difficult. But what we can do is try to be as sober-minded as we can and as self-reflective as we can about whether we see the positive or the negative. Now, the reality at the time of Jesus was that things were objectively negative. The Romans had invaded, I think, 92 years before Jesus was at the end of his life. And they had been oppressed and invaded multiple times before that by multiple kingdoms for hundreds and hundreds of years, about roughly 900 years. So the nation of Israel, the nation that Jesus was born into, was an objective mess. Oppression after oppression after oppression, injustice, forced poverty, violent cruelty. Jesus was born into a scene that was objectively negative. And so at the time of the birth of Jesus to the death of Jesus, people were generally culturally negative. This is terrible. This is awful. We thought God promised us a kingdom of prosperity. There is none. We thought God promised us a kingdom of might, military might. We have none. We thought God promised us this expanded, boundary of a prosperous nation. We have functionally no nation. We thought God promised that we would rule over the whole earth. That's what they thought, that God promised we would rule over the whole earth, and we are the ones who are ruled over by superpowers. They had lost hope. They saw the negative. They were in a deep, deep national depression as a people. And here comes Jesus. Now, most revolutionaries at the time were like, take up your sword, take up your shield, we're going to war. And that's the way things are going to turn around. And Jesus says, I have a different idea. How about we love our neighbor? What? How about we love our enemies? Huh? How about we rethink the whole idea of kingdom? And it's not about politics, and it's not about government, and it's not about nations, and it's not about boundaries, and it's not about armies, and it's not about violence at all. And we reimagine a whole new kingdom of love. Loved by God, loving each other, serving each other, advocating for the best in our neighbor, if an enemy forces us to give him his jacket, we are going to voluntarily give a shirt. If we are forced by a Roman soldier to walk a mile, we're going to ask to walk the second mile. This is the whole new way of life that Jesus imagined, and it's all about living peacefully. And it's hard for us to get our heads around this new kind of kingdom, but that is exactly what Jesus said. In the face of violence in John chapter 18, Jesus answered a Roman governor who was about to sentence him to death, "My kingdom is not an earthly kingdom. If it were, my followers would fight to keep me from being handed over to the Jewish leaders, but my kingdom is not of this world." He says, my followers are not going to fight you, Rome. My followers are not going to fight the religious leaders. We're not going to fight political oppression or religious oppression with swords. We are going to live a life of love. And we're going to serve our neighbor, and we're going to love our enemies, and we're going to pray for those who persecute us, and we're going to see a positive kingdom emerge in the midst of chaos. And that's exactly what happened. This kingdom started by Jesus 2,000 years ago. At the birth of Jesus, the announcement goes out, peace on earth, goodwill toward everybody. And now 2,000 years later, we're still trying. We're not there yet, but we're trying, and we're trying, and we're trying to humanize everyone, to keep the little deals, to treat everybody with absolute respect, and to see the positive. See the positive in our family, the positive in our world, the positive in our community. See the positive in our own life. Even though we might be struggling, there's positive things to say, God, thank you for my life. Thank you for my family. Yes, it might be messed up, but thank you. Thank you for this big, beautiful world I get to live in. And yes, there's some deep problems, but I'm going to see the positive. Thank you for this kingdom of heaven that is here, right here and now. This light of heaven that is growing in a dark world, and we get to be a part of that. Because this peace on earth is not just a promise at the birth of Jesus. This peace on earth is through Jesus that we've received, and we can be the peace on earth. We can live peacefully. Would you pray with me? God, these are not easy concepts. It is not easy to imagine what it would be like to humanize everyone around us. It's not easy to keep little things from becoming big things in our minds. It's not easy to see the positive when there are a lot of real challenges in our own heart and mind. There's challenges in our family, in our community, challenges in our nation, and challenges in this world. But God, we follow Jesus, and Jesus humanized everyone. We follow Jesus, who told Martha, "You're making too much out of too little." Jesus, who brought this kingdom of heaven and says, focus on this beautifully positive thing that this world is birthing. The kingdom of heaven on earth, a kingdom of love received and love given. Help us to live peacefully. Help us to be an agent of peace in our own community and in our own family. And may He be our peace this Christmas season and beyond. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, Alex.
All right, we got one more
Close us
week
out here,
of
yes.
Christmas carols and singing, and
Be
then
fun.
the week after that's Christmas Eve.
I know, it's crazy. It's here.
It's here.
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome. So think about who you might want to invite. Again, I've already started inviting a whole bunch of people. Christmas Eve is going to be great. And we got some things outside, right? Ryan Beaver's outside if you want to talk to him about high school youth group.
There's a jolly old soul out there with a big
There
beard.
is a jolly soul out there with a big beard. So if you're under 40, you can sit on his lap and ask for...
Absolutely, get a candy cane
that's
and
right.
tell him that you want a puppy for Christmas.
Excellent.
We have people that would love to pray with you over here if you need that.
Absolutely. And I'll be over there if I haven't met you. If you're fairly new to church, I'd love to say hi to you. My wife and I will be over there in a few minutes. So thanks so much for being here. We look forward to seeing you next week.
See you next
Merry
Sunday.
Christmas. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
On Christmas morning, on Christmas Day, blowing, but I can weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep me warm. I can't remember the worst December. Just watch those icicles fall. What do I care if icicles fall? I've got my love to keep me warm. Off with my overcoat, off with my glove. I need no overcoat. I'm burning with love. My heart's on fire. The flame grows higher. So I will weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep me warm. Off with my overcoat, off with my glove. I need no overcoat. I'm burning with love. My heart's on fire. The flame grows higher. I will weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love. I've got my love. I've got my love to keep me warm. If only in my dream I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Leaves have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas. If only in my
How'd you like to spend Christmas on Christmas Island? How'd you like to spend a holiday away across the sea? How'd you like to spend Christmas on Christmas Island? How'd you like to hang your stocking on a great big coconut tree? How'd you like to stay up late like the islanders do? Wait for Santa to sail in with your presents in a canoe. If you ever spend Christmas on Christmas Island, you will never stray, for every day your Christmas dreams come true.
How'd you like to spend Christmas without a turkey on Christmas Island? Where is the mistletoe? How'd you like to spend a holiday way across the sea? Maybe for you, but not for me.
How'd you like to stay up late like the islanders do? Wait for Santa to sail in with your presents in a canoe. If you ever spend Christmas on Christmas Island, you will never stray, for every day your Christmas dreams come true.
What's the old boy gonna use for a chimney?
You will never ever stray, for every day your Christmas dreams come true. True, true.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lights, up toys, and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to
Jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing